Trinidad and Tobago, welcome to Real Talk, your #1 show in the country, where we bring the issues that facing you viewers. The #1 current affairs program, we highlight the issues of the day, of the week, what is taking place, the do's, the don'ts. So on tonight's show, viewers, we're going to give you a little update with the Trump and the Latin American Security Summit. Tutor delivers second letter concerning pay. Senate unanimously passes the FATCA compliance bill. We're going to talk about Griffith's support, the SOE. Ameen's back the SOE. We're going to talk about our judge, the questions, the promotion of charge officers who were suspended. We're going to talk about Senator Nakit's stance with Iran, his personal opinion. We're going to talk about the national quarries operating at a major loss, Trinidad and Tobago. We have a packed program for you tonight. That's just a little headings of what we are going to be discussing tonight. So, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has confirmed that a Latin American Security Summit hosted by President Donald Trump will still take place in Florida this weekend. Speaking during a White House briefing earlier today, she confirmed that Trinidad and Tobago is among 12 countries invited to the summit. Listen to this, viewers.
And I'm pleased to announce the President will welcome the heads of state from 12 nations across our Western Hemisphere in Miami, Florida on Saturday. The point of this newfound Latin America Summit is to promote freedom, security, and prosperity in our region. The following countries will be in attendance: Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Honduras, Panama, Paraguay, Trinidad and Tobago, and maybe some others as well.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has made it clear that she plans to attend this summit, and that is her right. That is her right as leader of the government in Trinidad and Tobago. That is her right. She could attend, she could decline, that is up to her. So Trinidad and Tobago, in our current affairs segment tonight, the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association tutor delivered a second letter to the Ministry of Finance as they continue to call for clear communication and definitive timeline regarding pay increase and back pay. The second letter delivered to the Ministry of Finance again called for communication regarding pay. Tutor President Crystal Ash asked for the ministry indication of clear timeline.
The only difference with this particular copy is that there's something that we put in a little extra, which was the fact that the minister and the CPO, they would have agreed to pay the third schedule people who were under PSA in 2014 to 2019, the advance in back pay that all PSA members would have received in December. They had agreed to pay them in January. It has not come in January, it has not come in February. So we're reminding the minister kindly that it is due to them, it was agreed to, and they're expecting same.
So viewers, Mr. Ash also signaled that delivering the letter by hand opened the line of communication between tutor and the ministry.
We are aware that the minister does not like discourse in the public domain, because he said that in some interview that it's say that he's getting this information in the public domain via the media. So we want to adhere to that, and we're making sure that we deliver the actual letter directly to the minister, and we want him to ensure that he delivers same directly to tutor via email, hard copy. No problem, Mr. Minister, we'll take it anyway.
So viewers, he clarified that while teachers will not engage in industrial action, they will continue to show solidarity with the cause. Meanwhile, Chief Personnel Officer Dr. Daryl Dindale has confirmed that a 5% offer on salary and cost of living allowance extended prior to the 2015 elections remain in place, despite calls from Fire Service Association for a review of existing allowance. Now, the Fire Officers Association have committed to submitting a formal response on salary and COLA. Now, viewers, I ask myself, if they had an agreement with the previous government for 4%, and when the new administration takes over, those who did not agree with the 4%, and those that had discussion with the present government and accepted the 10%, they got paid. They got paid. Now remember, this new negotiation under this government, who signed off on it got paid for 10. But what about who signed off on 4 and 5 under the previous administration? Some of you would have gotten your 4 and your 5. But now that you saw this administration paying 10%, you want to jump across on this side now. If you signed for 4, you collected 4? Why now do you want to renegotiate for 10 now? You already collected. But nevertheless, here at Tobago, we will bring you more stories on that later on. Miscellaneous provision, FATCA compliance, Bill 2026 was unanimously passed in the Senate on Tuesday. The bill, which will amend 11 laws, is aimed at strengthening the country's compliance with standard set by the Financial Action Task Force. Now, Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development, and the Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Kennedy Saratan Singh, said, "It is critical to protect the country's economic stability and international credibility."
FATCA compliance matters because the strength of our financial systems affect every job, every business, every investment, national and international, and ultimately the cost of living experienced by everyday citizens.
So viewers, he noted that FATCA compliance contributes directly to national security.
Illicit finance is not an abstract concept. It is closely linked to organized crime, corruption, trafficking networks, as well as activities that threaten public safety. Financial transparency provides law enforcement agencies with tools to trace illicit funds, dismantle criminal records, and prevent the financing of harmful activities.
The minister warned that non-compliance would have serious economic consequences, which is true, Trinidad and Tobago, which is true. So listen to this for the final.
International banks restrict transactions, investors become cautious, borrowing becomes more expensive, businesses face delays and additional scrutiny, and ordinary citizens encounter obstacles when conducting legitimate financial activities.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, after all the back and forth, the who want to talk loud, the who want to talk soft, who want to rail up, who didn't want to rail up, at the end of the debate, all 30 senators voted in favor of the bill, giving it unanimously approved. So Trinidad and Tobago, I'm going to say it safe without any backlash. We are compliance. We are compliance. Moving along, Prime Minister was left with little to no choice but to call a state of emergency to avoid possible massive loss of life. The statement comes from former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith, who publicly voiced his opinion on the matter on Tuesday. According to Griffith, it was the mismanagement of Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and failure of Police Commissioner Alistair Grovero that forced the hand of the government to declare another SOE as soon after the country recently recovered from the last one, which would have been the last one ending 31st of January 2026. Listen to this.
What we're seeing, however, is the inability of the hierarchy of the police service to be proactive, to think out of the box, and to be able to utilize the type of technology that is seen around the world to peg back the criminal elements. Failure for them to do that is what has caused the criminal elements to take advantage and force the Prime Minister and the government to call a state of emergency because of the police being unable to deal with the situation.
So Trinidad, I ask myself, on the last SOE, police held a lot of individuals, hundreds of individuals. But how much individual is presently before the court? You hold them for a certain amount of time, and then you let them go back into the public domain. They just going back into the public domain. How much of those individuals are presently charged and before the court? How much? We are still waiting for the statistics. Griffith maintained his view that an SOE should not be used as a crime-fighting strategy, but it is necessary in a case where the police service failed to control criminal elements. He took aim at Grovero. Listen to this.
This is what we have seen now, because after almost a year in office, the current Commissioner of Police has not been able to introduce one new unit, system, equipment, strategy, tool, asset, or anything to be able to provide a deterrent, a high visibility, or a rapid response to deal with the criminal elements. He has made it known and found every excuse under the sun to avoid implementing body cameras, and then trying to find every excuse to justify not suspending police officers when we see them involved in what can be perceived as extrajudicial killing.
So viewers, referencing in 2014 murder statistics which contrast with 2025 reduction crime figures, Griffith pointed out that both years fell under the UNC administration. He further stated that under Kamla Prasad Biswa's leadership, the state of emergency was declared for most of the year. Listen now.
There were a number of unit system strategies from the Rapid Response Unit, the Community Comfort Patrol, the National Security Special Operation Group, the National Security Training Academy, the National Operations Center that caused the merging of different arms of the intelligence unit to have intelligence-driven policing. And that played a big part towards the highest reduction in serious crime in 31 years. In fact, that year, the murder rate was almost the same to last year, when it is almost that whole year was a state of emergency, which will always be an avenue to reduce crime.
So viewers, Real Talk Studios is currently looking for nighttime news researcher, social media individuals also. Anyone interested can contact 2386716, ask for Jovel, and you'll get all the information that is required. Again, Trinidad and Tobago Real Talk Studios is currently looking for nighttime news researchers / social media individual. Contact the manager, anyone interested, 2386716, and you could be on Real Talk. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back from this break, we're going to talk about Ameen, Khadija Ameen, back SOE. Let's hear what she have to say when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I'm looking for Sterling D. Russell. I'm looking for this man. He contacted me. We had a discussion. Now, the bailiff looking for him. The bailiff said, Saeed, if I find him, I'll go bring him. And all of a sudden, the man just disappeared. So I gave him enough time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, to contact me, but he didn't. So Trinidad and Tobago, you all know how I do it. Public fan. You all know how I do it. When you're owing Saeed or you're owing Real Talk Financing, I will give you your time and then I will put you up. So tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, everybody know how I do it. When I'm looking for a vehicle or a person, I just put a price in the public domain. A price. We're looking for the van, you find the van, you bring the van. Not a problem. The number of the van is TDE 5223. It's a Navara. It's a D40. We're looking for it. Bailiff can't find the man. Bailiff can't find the vehicle. So now, when my office contacted the individual, hear the story, yeah? 1 minute the mother living, 1 minute the dead. When you ask about the individual, 1 minute he's living at his last known address, the next minute he's not living there. So he's like a ghost. He's like a ghost. So tonight now, Trinidad and Tobago, everybody know you don't run from Saeed. If you want to run and you want to duck, everybody know I will put a price out. All right? So we are offering $10,000 to anybody who could find the van and bring it. Because I have top of the line bailiff and the van just disappeared from Trinidad and Tobago. The van disappeared. The man disappeared. I gave him ample time Monday night to highlight you. Brother man, get in touch with me before I do anything on television more. You fail Tuesday, you fail Wednesday, this is Wednesday night, tomorrow is Thursday. So you fail to contact me, you fail to contact my office. My office, I know if your mother living or she there because I the story. Nobody knows where you are. Because the bailiff went by your house. They said you're not living there. Not a problem. I just always tell people if you want to hide, hide good, you know. Hide real good. I'm not injecting fear, you know. But you don't run and you don't duck from me, especially when you owe me money. So I am all fine. Pop the van. Anybody? Tall man. The van. So Trinidad and Tobago, I am offering $10,000 to anybody who find this van, TDE 5223, and the individual. You're owing Real Talk, you're owing Side. One thing I tell people, don't run and hide. Don't hit me no 6 for 9. Dress how you like your money. Dress how you like your vehicle. Dress how you walk in. Let me tell you something, I work in the same way. I like my money. According to Kid Rowley, when you work, I will pay. You understand? So that's all I want. Presently, Trinidad and Tobago, presently, that vehicle belongs to Real Talk Financing. Yes. Real Talk Financing. Like I said, I don't put fear into nobody, you know. I don't do that. If I want to put fear in people, I just do spirit work. I know what to do. But you see where business is concerned? A very straight. A very, very straight. And I doesn't business who you are. I do business what position you're holding. I do business if you the president, son, daughter, family, doesn't bother me. You borrow something from me, you fail to pay, your time pass, time to repossess your vehicle, do not run and hide. I told this gentleman, I said, when the bailiff contact you, we will deal with it. You want to play your running, you want to play your ducking, I don't have a problem, you know. Now let's see who's running and who's ducking. And this is just how I just do it from ever since. Ever since. So as we continue with our show tonight, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khatija Ameen, has expressed support for the decision by Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisasa to declare a state of emergency in response to renewed threats posed by organized criminal activities. Ameen commended the PM for having the fortitude to make difficult decisions in the interest of nationhood. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, we're not against the SOE, you know. We're not against it. But a certain clause that it is in the release. That is what gets into me. Now, listen to this. The minister also pointed to measures resulting in national security measures implemented over the past year. Listen to this.
As an elected representative on behalf of my constituents, I want a safer country. And there was a reduction, a significant reduction in crime, 42%. And this didn't happen by accident. This took a lot of cohesion, a lot of cooperation from various agencies under the directive of Kamla Prasad Bisasa as head of the National Security Council, our Ministers of Homeland Security and Defense, as well as our Attorney General.
So now, viewers, Ameen reassured that law-abiding citizens will not be affected during the SOE. Trinidad and Tobago have something coming after all. They would love it. But listen to this.
And it's important to note that the state of emergency does not affect citizens going about their everyday lives. So it does not affect the hours you go out, the activities you engage in. And the only people who have to be worried are the criminals. So any law-abiding citizen should be happy to cooperate.
So now, viewers, like I said before, we welcome the SOE. We welcome the SOE. I want to see Trinidad and Tobago have minimal crime. Minimal. 0 to 1, anywhere there. But what we have to do, we also have to keep in mind. Whenever there's a high rate of unemployment, we would find a lot of purse snatchers, chain snatchers. You would find a lot of larceny of motor vehicle. You would find a lot of house breaking. You will find a lot of business place being robbed. You will find a lot of scam coming on Facebook, people trying to make money. You will find all these things with a high increase of unemployment. Now, I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Unemployment generates some criminal activity. So, some aspect of the regulation includes Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to have a discussion now. We're going to have a discussion now. We have a call on the line? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed. Great and powerful program from a great and powerful man. But the SOE, why Khadija Ameen didn't tell us how many reduction in home invasion, in robbery, in car theft, vehicular theft, and so on. Why you didn't tell us that? That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear about the murder rate. Yeah, it's criminals lock away, and you all walk out to deal with criminals and say, boy, cool it. But this SOE have other hidden agenda. Anyway, Mr. Saeed, you know, today I went to deliver some food stuff for a mosque with some friends and so on. And I was talking with the imam and some of my Muslim brothers in the mosque. They're all angry, very angry, just like you and many citizens in the country. Very angry. Because this is the holy month of Ramadan. And here it is, you have two countries attack another country,
Correct.
Iran.
Correct.
And this is the holy month of Ramadan, you know. And you know what made them more angry? When you have the female version in this country of the world notorious dictator is supporting that. And this notorious female dictator we have in this country that is supporting the persons who invade that country, the days are numbered. You see what happened in Texas? The Democratic win that seat. So the days are numbered and it's coming short. So I hope this notorious dictator we have here will wake up and understand, because just how her best friend is operating, he wants to invade everybody's country, take the resources, take the oil, take the gold and everything. She, with this SOE, wants the hooligans in the police service to do the same thing. Come into our homes, take what they want and go their way. And they're all happy. Mr. Saeed, great program. You keep up the great work you are doing. We will keep our fingers on the knob. And to my Muslim brothers and sisters, Ramadan Mubarak to all of you. God bless.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, from now onwards until our show ends at 8, we are going to be talking about some of the clause in the regulation. We are going to be talking about the power that have been handed down to rogue officers. We are going to be talking about suspended officers collecting salary and doing a moonlighting job outside. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. Call your friends, call your family. Let them know that for the next 30 minutes, we are going to be talking about the power that is handed down to rogue officers. So viewers, it is 7:29. We are going for a short commercial break. When we come back from this break, the next 30 minutes, we are going to run direct, no break. So I've given you all 2 minutes. Call your friends, call your family, sit down behind the television, or go on Facebook, Real Talk with Saeed, and you will see us. So before I go on that break, let me just give you this before I go on that break. Now, Trinidad and Tobago. So, Patriotic Front leader Michaela Pandey stated that we can fight crime and still defend our constitutional rights. Listen to this before we go to the break.
Criminals must be caught, prosecuted, and punished. But emergency powers must target criminals, not weaken constitutional protections for the innocent. A state of emergency is not a crime plan. A state of emergency is a temporary legal mechanism. It is not policing reform. It is not intelligence reform. It is not prosecution reform. And it is certainly not a substitute for a long-term strategy.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
Welcome back.
Caller, good night.
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yeah, I call it concern this SOE. Now people say the police will come in people's house and terrorize them. But the property bandits come and kill them and rape them. But their property police come in their house. You understand? I hope people thinking. So the bandits will come and do what they want.
I understand what you're saying, my friend. Thank you so much. So Trinidad and Tobago, some of the aspects, and we are going to highlight it night after night, which is something new that has been implemented in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, some of the aspects of the regulation including expanding powers for police, which allow officers to search without a warrant, enter and search premises, vehicles, vessels, individual without a warrant if they suspect evidence of certain offense. Now Trinidad and Tobago. This is where the real deal comes in. Police officers, according to these regulations that came out in this SOE, we have no curfew. We have no curfew. You could go about and do your daily or nightly business. Good? Nice. We get that out of the way. Now, the power that has been given down to police officers may also impose curfew on individuals, restrict where a person may live, work, travel, or with whom they may associate with. Now, they require individuals to report their movements, among others. Also, anyone convicted of an offense under the regulations face a fine for up to 100,000 and 5 years imprisonment. Come back to me. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I'm going to read something here for you. I just want to get this out of the way, and we will go back to the powers that have been stepped down, or I should say, the powers that have been given to police officers, rogue police officers, army officials, Coast Guard. We're going to discuss it because this is the only station to discuss it. So now, I just want to say this, right, and get it out of the way, but we will have a discussion. High Court Judge Justice Frank C. Passad, has raised concerns over a Trinidad and Tobago Police Service TTPS policy of promoting officers while they are suspended now for being accused of committing criminal offense. This is why I use the term rogue officers. If you commit a criminal offense, which means they catch you with whatever item. Good. Sipasad highlighted the policy yesterday as he was called upon to determine a lawsuit from a corporal who claimed he was bypassed for promotion while on suspension. So first thing I want to say, why are you expecting promotion while on suspension? Why are you expecting promotion while on suspension? That is my number one question. Now Trinidad and Tobago, with a group of colleagues for allegedly setting a detainee on fire. His name was called Indiac. Now, Justice Sipasad declined to rule on the case, as he noted that the officer was retroactively promoted while the case was awaiting determination. So Trinidad and Tobago, you are a police officer. I'm talking in general here now. You are a police officer. You commit a criminal offense, which means you would have been caught in the act. Good? So let's just, for instance, proper scenario to use, Shogunas Police Station, evidence room. Now in the evidence room, the only person that goes in there is police officers. An outsider wouldn't walk into the station, bypass a closed door, and then walk into the evidence room. No, it had to be somebody from there. Good. 2 blocks or 2 packets of marijuana went missing. Okay, good, they gone missing. So let's just say now, they have cameras in the room and they call the police officer. Good? Nice. So the police officer get caught red-handed. You get caught, Trinidad and Tobago, with the item. Good? Nice. You're suspended. Now, while being on suspension, you're getting a salary, which I find, to me, you shouldn't get none. You shouldn't get none. Because if a normal individual is caught in a criminal activity, he loses his job immediately. Because the employer cannot trust you anymore. So boom, you out of our work. The police, the rogue officers, they get caught with the item, you get suspended. Why are you collecting a salary? Millions of dollars are being spent. Millions of dollars are being spent paying officers on suspension. Now these officers on suspension, they moonlight. They look for other job while waiting the outcome of this case. So now, why would we treat a police officer special when he get caught up and get caught in the act? Why is the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service paying this individual? Keep in mind, this man is a police officer. You get caught in the act. Your job was supposed to do what? Secure the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Protect the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You take an oath, you promise, you swear. But when you get in now, you become a bandit in clothing. Police clothing. with a badge and a legal firearm. Legal firearm. But when you get caught in the act, you get suspended, you still get salary. Why is this? Why it is taxpayers are paying millions of dollars to suspended police officers who get caught in the act? When a normal individual get caught in the act, he loses everything. You lost your job, you lost stability, you lost income coming in to pay for your house, your land, your couch, your TV. You get a bad name in the public domain, your character going on the drain. But these suspended officers, they moonlight. You find a next job until your matter call. But the thing is, while you're waiting for your matter to call, you're getting paid. And within that pay period now, if your case take 5 years, so during 5 years you could get promotion. From a SRP to a corporal or a sergeant to an inspector. Why is this? This should not be. Is TDPS favoring this individual because he's a police officer? So why not favor now a human being, another individual who's not a police, who get caught in the act? Why not favor him? But I'm going to stick a pin on that Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to discuss that next day. What I really want to talk about tonight is that the powers that the police have to impose on a citizen. The police could impose curfew on an individual, restrict where a person may live. So you're trying to tell me I can't go home? You're trying to tell me I can't go to work? You're trying to tell me I can't travel? You're trying to tell me what the friends I keep. And on top of that, you're trying to tell me now I had to report to you in the station? Trinidad and Tobago, keep in mind, this is the regulation. This is the power the Trinidad and Tobago police were given. So I like to use instances and circumstances to get my point across the table. So now, Saieed Ali is a man is highlight issues. We talk about the good thing, we talk about the bad thing, we talk about middle class thing. We talk about everything issues. So, as how I am highlighting rogue officers tonight and suspended officers. So let's just say police officers now decide, you know what? We don't like what Saieed saying. We're going because of the fact that the SOE gave them the power to impose curfew on me, an individual. They're coming out to tell me, Saieed, hear what? You can't leave your house. That's number one. You cannot go on your program to do your show. That's number two. You cannot go in your workplace. That's number three. You have to report to me between 7 in the morning and 7 o'clock in the night or 7:30 just to make sure you're doing your show. That's number four. What am I saying to do? All because the police now have that power to come down on individual. That is the kind of power that the Attorney General, is that the kind of power Kamla Prasad Bisasa, is that the kind of power the person who draw this legislation give to the police? Talk to me. Let's talk to me, man. Don't be afraid to talk to me. This is what we're facing. Pop the article. Come tall. Pop the article. Trinidad and Tobago. This is what we are facing. On a previous night, Tuesday night, I highlighted, be careful where you say on social media because they could come down on you. You are infringing on the right of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. How telling Saieed Ali to stay home? How telling Saieed Ali don't go to work? How telling Saieed Ali reporting the station, fixing the crime in Trinidad and Tobago? Asking the Prime Minister that question. Asking the Attorney General that question. Look at it on the screen. Trinidad and Tobago. What going on? What going on? Huh? What is really going on? So it draws me now to ask the question to the Attorney General, John Jeremy, and to Kamala Prasad Bisasa, and to Wayne Sturge. Was these clause, these regulations all are bringing out here in this SOE, was it part of the ZOSO bill, come back to me, that the PNM administration turned down? So this is what I'm asking myself. Trinidad and Tobago, this is what I'm asking myself. So there is no curfew, but a police could put a curfew. A police could tell you, see, brother man, you don't go to work. Stay in your house. That's the kind of... So when the month up now, who paying the policeman paying my bill? I'm asking all you. I'm asking the Attorney General. Because if a police... Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this. If a policeman libel a next man girl, if a police libel a next man girl, and the police decide, now, you know what? I have power. I'm going to infringe on this individual right, so I could get to see the girl. What's going on with that man? What's going on with that man bills? What's going on with that man lifestyle? What's going on with the food on the table for that man? And if the girl had trial for the man, what going? This man can't work now, so where you getting money to feed the children? Let me tell you something. I ask myself today if this is part of the ZOSO bill that was presented in the parliament and it was turned down by the opposition. I'm asking that question. Because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So any police now that have a beef with Saieed could come and impose this on me. Oh, I am asking the Attorney General that. I am asking John Jeremy this. I am asking Kamala Prasad Bisasa this. I am asking the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago what you all think. Because in a broader language, you have to be careful where you're posting. So you're trying to tell me you've taken away my right for freedom of speech? I am a law-abiding citizen, but automatically I become a person of interest. How? Oh, be careful where you post. It might cause public opinion. Somebody say something. 9 years I run in this show. I have opinions from right out. People is called all over to the program. All of us hear that. The US, Canada, of the Caribbean. And they're voicing their concerns. So now I had to tell people, don't call in the program. I highlighted something here that is threatening my rights, is threatening my job, is threatening the money I work for. I'm a law-abiding citizen. But this threatens me. Because the police could come and implement this on me. That is why I use this scenario. If a policeman lie with an ex-man girl, because we just see a love triangle in Trinidad and Tobago with police. And man wife and man girl. And it is end up, you just hear the Tory all over, we just hear it. I ain't talking about something happening in our next country. I'm talking about something happening in Trinidad. In Trinidad, we had thieving right in the station in Shogunas here. Right here. It is alleged police thief the marijuana in the station, in the evidence room. So what scenario you want me to use? Something that I don't know of? No, I will use a real life example to open the eyes of the citizens. And tonight, I want to especially thank Justice Frank Sipasad for raising this issue. Because I talk about this. I talk about rogue officers being suspended and collecting salaries. Some of them get promotion. You are being caught with evidence. You get suspended. My tax money now had to go and pay you for your act, which you get caught on. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Call her good night.
Yes, I. Good night.
Short and sweet tonight, my boy. Hot tonight.
Yes, I.
Tell me.
I feel like hit the nail on the head there, partner.
I always hit the nail on the head.
I think here what going on. I think it's Peter paying for Paul and Paul paying for all here. Because they didn't get his also bill passed. Let me make it real short, right? The PNM area is all the hot spots in the country. We face the fact. Right? They wanted to pass the Zoso bill to deal with these areas. They didn't pass the Zoso bill, so everybody had to pay for it now. Even the law-abiding citizens like myself, yourself, everybody in the country had to pay for it now. Everybody had to feel it because they didn't get to pass the bill to deal with the hotspot areas, which is the PNM area.
Thank you, my friend.
You're enjoying it.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, I am a law-abiding citizen. 9 years I own the television. People in Trinidad and Tobago, up the Caribbean and around the world, everywhere, let me tell you something, every country that shows synergy. And synergy is showing in all the English-speaking country. I can't remember how much it have, right? But synergy is being shown in all the English-speaking country. And in all those English-speaking country, people understand whose side is. People know side is do spiritual work. People know side born to do spiritual work. People know when side do spiritual work and he get paid, he is investing money. I am no skeleton in the closet, you know. And the day a man or a policeman say, oh, Saeed, well, you know, I had this on your brother man, come, hey, watch me now. Watch me now. Come good, you know. Come good, you know. Because if you never see a spirit in all the life you live in, one might appear in front of you. I know who I is. The world know who Saieed Ali is. And for this legislation, this regulation to come out and say, we don't have a curfew, but now you give police, you give the good police, you give the bad police power to appoint a curfew on an individual. You give the police the power to tell an individual, hey, you stay in your house. Hey, you can't come out. Hey, you report to me. Officers will take advantage. Kamala Prasad Bisasa is a lawyer. And she knows exactly how the system works. Being a lawyer, you go to court. You fight cases for people. You end up in front of a judge. You end up in front of a magistrate. And she knows how the system works. The Attorney General is obvious. You have to have a lawyer background to be an Attorney General. So they know how the system works. So I ask myself, Trinidad and Tobago, I am educating you all here, you know. I am educating you all here, you know. Because this is what is going to face us from now until the SOE finishes. One thing I will tell them, don't come around my show. Because my show is educating the citizens of this country. That is what, I've been doing that for 9 years. 9 long, hard years. Monday to Friday every night. And then have a normal work day. But when I read this, and I realized what a police could do. Now, don't get me wrong. I welcome the SOE. I welcome the SOE. But there are things in it that is going to worry a judge. There are things in it going to worry a magistrate. There are things in it that is going to worry the Law Association in Trinidad and Tobago. And after tonight, Trinidad and Tobago will understand the type of power that has been given down to the police. After tonight, you will understand. See, I started off Tuesday night with a broader language on you trying to infringe on my rights on social media. You trying to tell me what I could say and what I cannot say. You trying to tell me what I have to post and what I cannot post. We talk about cyberbullying. How do we call this now? Where the government on a broader language saying, be careful where you're posting, it could be charged. Remember Roger Alexander wanted to go to the US for them to stop sharing videos of police. You see, he was caught up in an act that was taped on a camera and shared. So now he's in position, he feels that, you know what, I could go for this now, so my officer is safe. Let me tell you something. Out of all the person in 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago, I expect Roger Alexander to understand the system. This is why people in high places, you can't like Saieed. Because if a football makes a kick, we can't play tennis with it. You catch me? If your vehicle make for gas, how you go for diesel? And that's where they can't like me for. But the thing is, the good Lord, the good Lord has blessed me in a position that I don't need to ask for funding. That is what the good Lord did. Let me put back up the, put back up the picture with this man. Person of interest. So Trinidad and Tobago, I am asking you, still in the Russell, I try to deal with you the nice way. The office tried to deal with you the nice way. The bailiff tried to deal with you the nice way. And when I deal with people the nice way and I want to play hard, I'm accustomed coming. You see, I just give collection department their play. I just give the bailiff their play. And when you want to hide from collection and you want to hide from bailiff, when you want to hide from these things, you start my playing field. I'm a nice and easy fella to deal with. But you see 6 for 9, I don't settle with it. So Trinidad and Tobago, $10,000 is being offered for this van, TDE 5223. It's a Nissan Navara. You find the van, you bring it to me, it's not a problem, 10,000 is yours. You see, I go tell you something trying to make, I doesn't like to do these things, you know. But when I have my money outside here, it is be a different thing. Police officers will understand that. Ministers will understand that. When they have their money, it's a different thing. So viewers, we are time out tonight, but nevertheless, repeat of this program tomorrow, 11:30, 12:30 p.m. We'll be back another night for another Real Talk with Saieed. Until then, stay safe.